Well, everybody, I believe it is that time. What time is it? Is anybody in chat, telling me what time it is? What time is it, chat? What time? Kuso time? Yeah, it's that time. The Kuso time. Oh my gosh. I think I have it set up. Do you want to stream with 1440p? No, I don't want to do that. Heck, don't even want to do 1080p on Discord. 720 for you commentators, huh? And 30 frames per second. There we go. I'm gonna make you suffer even more. Okay, everybody. Ooh, it sounds like the Battletoads want to take us over, so let's go ahead and go. Crappy, you've taken us past this screen so many times. So as a quick reminder, each round for the bracket has a different theme. Today's theme, the Iron GM, where 3 different GMs were given out as a possibility for people to choose. If they chose the same GM, then fantastic, that's who they ended up with as the person choosing the game today. If they chose different GMs, then they ended up with the third one that neither of them chose, who will come in swinging for the fences? Yeah, that one. And honestly, I make it a point that whenever anybody ends up with me as an Iron GM and I did not get picked, that I make them suffer. And so let's go ahead and find out who the GMs are first. Iron GM, shut up, I'm making my video games. Corndan gave me that name because I didn't have time for one, because I was trying to make my birdie game. It's me, it's the Procentia. By the way, thank you to everybody who subscribed just recently. I appreciate it, as well as to those who are just letting us know that you are continuing your gift sub. You are also freaking amazing. But yeah, here we go. I am Iron GM number 1, Iron GM number 2. Fired again from Don't Make Us Bored. I thought I had an animation for that. It is Blasphemous Roar. Why was that animation so fast? Did you see that? What the crap? The other one wasn't that fast, was it? No, look at this. But no, for Roar, it's like boom, 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 boom. And finally, Iron GM just screenshot this dingus. Iron GM just screenshot this dingus. It is Tristan. Oh, I just love it. I don't know if Tristan wanted me to screenshot the whole thing, but there we go. So let's see who the players voted for. Our first player, Polterghost, decided to go probably with a good choice. Iron GM fired again from Don't Make Us Bored. Roar. Our second player, Jackazam, opted for me, who would have been the correct person. So Tristan is rewarded with being the GM and is coming, as far as I know, all out to cause suffering here. Are you gonna make them suffer, Tristan?
Oh, I've given up trying to figure out how good or bad my picks are, because every time I think I'm giving out a softball, someone says it's the worst game they've ever played.
I know how that goes. Yeah, oh my gosh. Memories of me, having a friend that I give a game to. I'm like, I'm gonna give you one of my favorite games so that you enjoy it. And then they're like, I cried. I'm like, no, yeah, that's not what I meant. That is not what I meant by kindness.
That's my my life, my experience in Kusog7ande. Like, oh, I'm giving out a softball, and then all the racers are just like, oh, that's the worst game I've ever played. Why are you so mean? Like, I'm not trying to be mean.
Well, okay, so at the very least, you chose a game, right?
Game might be going a little far.
Oh, no. No.
A game has definitely been chosen. tell me, how do you feel about Pachinko, about Pachio Slot?
I have never played it, but I want to. I want to go play some pachinko machines. I just like how the balls bounce around.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's great. It's fantastic.
It is. We're not playing Pachinko.
Okay.
How do you feel about Sonic the Hedgehog?
Also a ball. Like, I know spin ball. That's not pachinko, though. Sonic games are pretty great, is what I'm gonna say, and I'm especially a fan of Sonic Team. I think that Sega has some of the best policies when it comes to retro games, so I'm gonna go ahead and say Sonic #1 mascot. That's right, Mario, suck it. This is a
we're not playing
family-friendly
Sonic either. We are playing a mascot platformer, though.
Oh,
we're playing a mascot platformer for a series of Pachio Slot games.
Ooh.
And it's a little mascot platformer by the name of Action Pachio.
How did I click the wrong thing? Where is it? Ah, this guy! He comes just smashing in through the wall. Look at him. He is... Okay, I'm gonna have to say, for coming through the wall, he looks very, like, static. Like, he's barely moving at all. It's just somebody threw him and he's like, I'm here.
He's just a round little guy showing up to do his best.
I mean, yeah, he's around. He's a little guy. I don't know if he's going to be doing his best, but our players will try to do that. They will have 1 hour trying to battle each other in Action Pachio. And whoever does takes the victory, moves on to Winner's Bracket Round 2. The loser goes to Loser's Bracket Round 1, where, guess what? They will probably have to go through a lot of the same pain that they have already been through. I don't know, it's life. Pain is life, life is pain. Deal with it, everybody. We're getting a little metaphysical to the, I don't know, we're getting meta something. But yeah.
Also, bro, are you supposed to be Discord streaming your browser and not
oh my gosh, am I
the match?
Why am I streaming the browser? That's not right. Oh my gosh.
It's made it real easy for me to see chat.
Well, good. That's absolutely not the correct thing. Okay, I hope this is right. Is this right? Yeah, there you go. You should be able to hear some Mega Man music. Why is it only playing Mega Man music today? And Monster Party? I don't know.
Monster Party's fine.
Monster Party's such a good game. I'm very adamant about that. Speaking of games, Tristan, it's been a little while since I've talked to you. Have you played anything really cool lately?
So I got completely just obsessed with this little indie Diablo-like called Chronicon. I think I played like 20 hours of it in the past week. That's been eating all my free time.
Chronicon.
Yeah.
What's it on?
PC.
Okay, can you get it on Steam?
Yeah.
Okay. I might have to take a look at that.
It's extremely for the people who just like lots and lots of loot in Diablo-like games. So, obviously, I just completely got sucked into it.
I might enjoy that. I enjoy a good looting every now and then. You know, people are like, hey, are you a pirate? I'm like, oh, I wish I could be. Like, not like risking all the illnesses and, like, not having limes. I'd want to have lots of limes on my ship if I were a pirate. That's my opinion, though. It's like, why am I talking about this? Tristan, I'm just trying to talk as I do setup. But I would be a pirate.
I mean, having lived in Florida and through their hurricane season, it was necessitated quite a bit that I learn how to loot and plunder.
Oh, good! Yar! Did you talk like a pirate?
No.
That's good. Okay, because then they'd immediately be like, there's a pirate! See, if you don't yar, then it's gonna take them longer to catch you.
Indeed. And when I pirate stuff, I definitely don't talk like a pirate.
I don't pirate stuff. I swear. Okay, I'm a as much as possible. Okay, if there's some like I know. Here's the deal, everybody. We are playing this game on emulator, but I'm a strong believer if it's not being sold, then and nobody is enforcing copyright on something, then it's not the same. Okay, I'm a huge believer, and we are not going to be taking that outside of the stream. We're just going to be leaving that right here. That sounds like Pirate Talks' chat. Uh-oh. I think they might have caught me. Oh, why? Why? But no, I say there's a difference between piracy and preservation, and we really love to bring old games here that haven't really seen the light of day in a long time. Or, you know, occasionally they're let out, but then people just make fun of them. There's a lot of redeemable stuff in these old, less than stellar games, and I'm super excited. Coconuts Japan will go after me for this. See, I'd really actually want to know, like, who owns the rights to this game right now, because honestly, they should be sharing this with the world, whatever this is. Okay, I'm letting them know that I am ready. Also, let's see. I'll see if they are set. Oh, this is gonna be a bit of a bitrate nightmare at times. Oh, just to ask, are there any warnings for this game, or is it pretty straightforward? Everybody's gonna be fine.
It's pretty straightforward. It's
cool.
It looks like the racers are readying up. I had thoughts on letting them have additional lives, and at the last minute I decided, you know what, it's brackets. They can deal with the 3.
Okay, I'm just letting them know, go to the options menu, because Polterghost is already there. It makes it easy so that we know that nothing has been changed.
Yeah, looks good. Everyone should just be on the default settings.
Okay, we are gonna do the countdown now. So everybody, I need all of your best ball emotes. Anything that is spherical, that is allowed on twitch.tv, you may spam as an emote. Okay? Bubsy is not a sphere. I have to... Kefka, you like break every rule every single time we do this. Chain chomp. Oh, that's good. As soon as I see movement in the first stage, I will start our timer, although I think Poltergeist left the menu before the countdown had even started. But I believe this is a start. Here we go, everybody! Alright, well, welcome to the game. This is Action Pachio, and I know literally nothing about this.
Yeah, so this presents itself as a Sonic clone, but none of the mechanics that you would expect in a Sonic game actually work.
Okay.
You can't roll into things to defeat them, though our racers have a shield right now that lets them do that, but usually you can't. You can't just jump on things from a standstill to defeat them either. What you have to do is, to damage enemies, you have to stop moving, crouch, and then jump, and you will spin. You'll do a spin jump like in Sonic.
Yeah.
But you only do that spin jump if you're crouching when you jump.
Okay, so Poltergeist made that annoying jump that Jack-Zem has been trying for a little while. Jack-Zem is trying to do it as a ball. Honestly, I think Jack-Zem may try to backtrack and go somewhere else to see if she has missed anything. I don't believe she has, it's just that jump is pretty bad, and I'm a little concerned about that.
Yeah, something that may not be...
this other route.
May not be visibly obvious is, you know in Sonic, you have pretty much standstill running, and then eventually you get to the point where Sonic's feet turn into like that blur and you're moving at max speed.
Yeah.
You have those like 3 stages of acceleration here. When you're at the fastest speed and you tap in the opposite direction, you don't stop. You turn and start running at full speed in the opposite direction.
Oh, that is Scunny back to the forest type BS. I love it. Oh, that excites me.
Yes.
I'm sorry that I had a game that I could immediately compare to that. It's just, that game is so unwieldy. Have you played it?
No, but
Yeah,
I can
okay.
imagine.
Well, I mean, if you like that type of chaos, you should at least give it a shot.
I might have to. The one Scunny game I've played so far I actually liked.
My favorite has to be Back to the Forest, because first off, you get to learn in the information about Sticky Nut Pudding and how his name is Gunny Hardnut. It's really good information. Second, there are very few platformers on DOS that went that fast, and it's for very good reason.
So Poltergeist is on the first boss. Something about bosses. To damage them, you have to do the spin jump, which, as we see, Poltergeist just plunk straight into the boss without spinning. We can see how easy it is to mess up your spin jump.
It looks like Poltergeist got it, though.
You don't really bounce off the boss like you do in Sonic. You kind of just travel through them, and you have to spin jump into them, do your damage, and then get out before the hurt frames run out. Otherwise, you take damage.
Yeah, I know that you were secretly talking with us GMs about the choice for this game, as well as sort of the choice for information that you gave them and what you didn't give them. And you didn't tell them that they had to turn into ball form to damage things, but both of these players have learned that really quickly. Compared to times when we've had, like, Fantasia for Genesis, where you have to hold down in order to damage anything. Yeah, that game's a nightmare. But like, the players sometimes never figure that out. So the fact that both of the players have figured that out within the first 5 minutes of this game just shows how good they are. They're doing great.
They might have been able to glean that from the attract mode, depending on how much attention they paid during it.
Always watch the attract mode. If there is one, you are allowed to do that before matches, and it's a common strategy that Mystery Tournament veterans say that they do in order to learn some of the basics, some of the basic mechanics. I gotta be honest, whenever I participate in races, I forget to do that, and I probably fail on learning information. But then again, like, whenever I get a game, it's some weird, obscure puzzle game that nobody's ever heard about and that doesn't have an attract screen because it was made by one person using Game Maker Studio or something. Like what I'm doing right now, Tristan. I'm making a puzzle game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, Chronicon, the game I was mentioning during our setup, is made in Game Maker, and it's really solid.
Game Maker is actually pretty good. I enjoy it. Oh my gosh, Jackazam! The unfortunate thing is that it seems like if you're currently having iframes, you might not be able to damage the boss. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's very fiddly on when you can and can't damage the boss, which is... It's weird. You watch the tasks of this, and the task just tears into the boss and destroys them in like half a second. I have no idea how it does that. I could not find a way to damage the boss more than once every 3 or 4 seconds without getting hurt myself.
Yeah, I'm also very much noticing for both of the players the issue of running back and forth left and right that you were talking about. And again, I'm getting huge Scunny vibes because of that. That's exactly... Except you're a little bit faster in Scunny. You gotta try it. Back to the Woods or whatever the crap it is. I don't know. It's a scunny game. It's a nightmare.
Additionally,
yeah.
you have a health bar, but spikes are instant death. Even like on the floor, on the ceiling, it doesn't matter. You hit a spike, you instantly die, Mega Man style. And as you get further and further into the game, there are spikes everywhere. This is the main method of platforming difficulty the developers leaned on, is just cover the entire level in instant kill fields and make the player deal with it. I actually considered giving the racers more lives and opted against it because it's brackets. Let's just see how they do with the default 3.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about like level order and level design in video games, and hey, Jack7ande is through the first boss, moving on to area number 2, the one that Polterghost is in right now. So Jack7ande honestly sometimes has a little bit of the slower start, but she always gets up to speed after a little while. So I have no doubt that she's going to do well. Honestly, between these two, I have no idea who I'm going to bet on taking the victory. There were polls, though, on the challenge page, which I completely forgot to fill out because I'm so good at keeping track of literally anything.
Polterghost having some issues getting up a small 45-degree incline because the controls are that that wonky. The other thing I found endearing, we'll say endearing about the controls in this game, this is one of those games where you tap down to crouch, and then you stay crouched until you tap up. And the difference between trying to run and then trying to roll because you moved while crouching is massive as far as your ability to damage enemies and leave your crouch state goes.
Yeah.
If you try to jump while rolling, you just don't. You cannot jump while rolling. So that's another thing that this game puts forth is, hey, we're a Sonic clone, and it doesn't give you any of the mobility options that is present in a Sonic game.
Yeah, honestly, like, just with how slow you're going horizontally in this, to begin with, that also gives me some strange Kid Cool vibes, just how much momentum matters for when you actually jump. If you're not moving fast enough, you're just not going to be able to get going anywhere. If you're moving too fast, though, it's got sort of the opposite problem of Kid Cool, because you're not going to be able to slow down, or if you do slow down, you cannot speed up. Whereas in this game, if you're at max speed in the air and you try to reverse, good luck. You're in trouble.
Also, most of the bosses have, like, the ball theme going on as well. We have this boss who is a whatever the heck this is with 2 giant, like, orb boxing gloves. And Polterghost is dead.
Ah! You know what? It happens to the best of us. Sometimes we die. Chat is asking if some of the enemies are racist, and yes. Welcome to the 90s, everybody. We have games without them being censored because it's worth going and being critical of culture, but still participating in it, and so we will criticize. There were a lot of games that had no reason to have, like, caricatures, racist caricatures, and then they had them anyway. This is a freaking ball game. Why do you have to be racist, balls?
It's a pachinko motif game. I don't get it. Like, the entire series of Pachinko-kun games, which this is one of, is supposed to be this kind of cutesy little thing where you are a pachinko ball trying to rescue all of your pachinko ball friends from the pachinko parlor by playing the games and bankrupting the parlor by just taking all of the balls and cashing out, basically.
Wait, is this the one that started with American Dream in 1989?
Yeah, I believe so.
Because I've played a little bit of that, like just experimenting. That's much more straight, like, hey, you're just a giant ball and you get to go play slots and card games for a while. And it's like, oh, great, you're supposed to try to make enough money in order to get to these other areas. Yeah, not happening.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. It's the same series. I believe that's one of the few games that actually got localized from the Pachinko-kun stuff.
Yeah, mind you, it's not too bad, but it's not the best. Oh my gosh, I'm taking a look at the company that made this game, by the way. Is that actually Lawnmower Man that I see in their history here? Oh.
It might very well be. Oh, by the way, Poltergeist is now on the underwater level, where you have, on top of everything else, floating underwater physics.
I mean, of course. Why wouldn't you? But yeah, that's Coconuts Japan. Okay, Lawnmower Man. Come on. I see Sales Curve Limited worked on it, and Coconuts Japan was one of the publishers, maybe the Game Boy version, which actually horrifies me. I didn't want to know there was a Game Boy version of Lawnmower Man, but now I do. Holy crap, that is terrifying.
I do love the really small, angry fish that burps up missiles that Poltergeist just saw. It's like this little tiny puffer fish, and then it opens its mouth and just a torpedo comes out.
That's terrifying.
It's interesting because you have this mascot platformer where you are just a pachinko ball from a series that largely takes place in gambling halls and pachinko parlors.
Yeah.
And what do? How do you design a world around this?
I mean...
I'm so sorry I'm late for the Iron Jam. I was asleep and then... Sorry. I hope you guys sorted it out without me.
Okay, well, one of them chose you, but the other one didn't, so you're not needed here, Roar.
What do you mean both of them didn't choose me? I don't want revenge yet!
Vengeance, that's what we're all about. I want to thank everybody, by the way, who has dropped a subscription, because we do give out over $2,000 worth of prizes. It is extremely helpful, so thank you, everybody. With that said, it's rarely a stream on my channel without a Roar showing up and yelling. I like it.
It's not a Kusog7ande match without the random... Roar invasion. I can dig that.
Yeah.
The background on this level Poltergeist is going through reminds me of Darius Twin in a really weird way.
Really?
Like the storm clouds and everything.
Kind of. I like the graphics. I'm not gonna knock the graphics. They're very well done in this game.
Yeah. I found it interesting. The first character you rescue after defeating the first boss is like Pachinko-kun's wife or something.
Okay.
And it's just the Miss Pac-Man thing where they made her legs longer, gave her heels and a bow, and made her like pink.
Like, so the mascot reminds me of Ball Man from what is it? I mean, Don Troll the Dolphin, the Pig of the Peach world.
Yeah.
Dove-like Crusaders, that's the game, yeah. I'm Ball, I'm Blue, I'm bad. That's sort of what this ball guy is, you know?
Poltergeist is a pretty solid... Oh no. Commentator's curse, I'm not even done yet. They had a pretty solid strategy for that boss. Just being able to bounce up on top of the... whatever the heck that thing is.
I don't know. Save your ball friend. Honestly, though, I think they can just stay in ball jail for a little while. I don't care. Stay in there.
I mean, they're underwater, so maybe they're safer in there.
They're balls! Balls don't need to breathe. Yeah. Well, so this was made by Coconuts Japan, and I'm like trying to find more information about this. It was never released in the US, so I don't really have too much information. But this game, like, it's bright and colorful, and I am kind of enjoying it. Although it looks like there may have been a developer named C Lab, that, like, the letter C. Giant Bomb, stop going all over the place here. I'm just trying to click on something. They made a game called Rusty for the PC 98, so we probably can never have that.
Rusty is a pretty solid game. It's a little PC 98, but it's a pretty solid game.
Yeah, like PC 98 is one of those things that you think, I don't know, it's probably not going to be on Kusog7ande unless, like, we test it for 10 hours straight and don't find anything questionable, because that's what PC 98 is all about. Questionable stuff. Let's see, they made a Pingu game in 1999, I see, for the PS1.
Poltergeist, what have you done?
Poltergeist, did you soft lock? I mean, this looks like it's a bonus game, so whatever, time's gonna run out. But look at the score just go up. If you can get unlimited score, it probably won't matter, but you might get extra points, or extra lives. And that's really the only reason you would care. Well, nope, it looks like the people who made this maybe were thinking too much about pachinko and not enough about video game design.
Okay, yeah, everything's okay. I was getting a little worried for a moment.
Yeah. Yeah, Poltergeist is really doing well in this game, which isn't a huge surprise. Poltergeist has always been a big competitor and actually won Kusog7ande last year.
I do like that it looked like Poltergeist just found the nearest spike and deliberately took a game over, because you have infinite continues, and I told the racers this. So there is some strategizing here on when to take a game over and get your lives count back.
Yeah. By the way, I'm taking a look at the history of the company that made this. Like, we've actually had one of the games that they made on Kusog7ande before. Mr. Do.
Oh.
You Are a Clown.
Yeah, Mr. Do is...
That's all I remember, you're a clown.
Mr. Do is a video game. Depending on what version we had, I would call that a fairly softball pick, but it's definitely a little crusty.
Maybe... I don't know. Maybe... I don't know. I don't recall. It was a while ago. But then I take a look, and they either made... this company, after this game, made some sports games. They made a lot of horse racing games, and then they made a lot of games that I'm like, we probably will never have this on Kusog7ande, because I bet this is not safe for Twitch. Love Quest?
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
I mean,
make an RPG called Love Quest? What am I supposed to think? I think it's about love. And what does love entail? I don't know. I've heard stories, and I just don't think we can have that game. So there we go. Yeah, but the questing part is gonna be fine for Twitch. It's just how it goes.
Yeah, there's a reason why I stopped doing just like completely random, I use a randomizer to pick a game to play roulette streams, because I started dipping into the TurboGrafx stuff.
Yeah.
And
well,
for the most part, the TurboGrafx library is fine, and then you run into stuff that's not.
Yeah, mind you, everybody, for Thursday nights, we have been doing some GM nights, hangout nights, where sometimes we go and explore various games. We've had a couple weeks off, but hopefully we'll be able to do that again soon. Maybe even this week. And let me just say, I've been digging through some of the Famicom Disk System games, and there are some that, like, we all know because they were released in slightly lower quality here in the US. There are some that I'm like, I've never heard of this, and there's a good reason. And then there's some that have this logo, Super Pig, and as soon as you see Super Pig...
No.
It's not allowed on Twitch, okay? So if you're going to keep playing it, know that everybody, if anybody is watching, they will immediately judge you as soon as it gets past that logo, okay? Stay away from Super Pig if you want to stay pure. Okay? That's what I've learned. Also, like, Atari 800, that's another thing that suffers because either it's a game that's made by a very good company, or it is a very small game, or it is a pinball machine that probably has been modified to either be Christian or naked ladies. Like, it's going to be one of those two things. It's either going to have a cross on it or it's going to have some boobs.
Why not both?
I haven't seen that, and I'm going to pass.
I have.
I mean, I haven't seen it lately. I don't recall. Or there's some straight up adult games on Atari 800 because, you know what, anybody could develop for it because it used basic programming languages for some of the games, and I think that that's great. If you want to go ahead and be 5 years old and make a game that has a boob in it, then go for it, you know? I just can't show it on stream. Well, maybe I can. Some of them I definitely can't. I'm not going to. I'm not going to show it on stream, but you go for it.
Apparently, the incredibly in vogue thing right now is to catch a 3-day suspension for not even accidentally, for streaming like nudity as part of whatever game you're doing a deep dive on, and then Twitch just banning you for 3 days, and then you come back stronger than ever.
I was gonna say, I know that we've had nudity show up on this stream, but I've never gotten a suspension for it. Woo! But I try to warn people, like, if I know there's gonna be nudity, I'll put a warning. I'll be like, this is mature content stream, okay? Because there might be a boobie. Ooh, mature content. Like, I didn't get banned for Demon Rush, did I?
Yeah, but a couple of polygons does not... You know what? Never mind.
Oh my gosh. Okay, for the female model, that might be true, but for the male model, there was a surprising amount of detail. With that said, this has nothing to do with that. We're talking about... Why the crap are we talking about? Oh, because we're talking about balls here.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. Both of the players are getting used to this game. Here's the deal. The first half of the match generally should be focused on improving your own gameplay and learning the basic rules for how to get through the game. A second half is really making the push. However, an important thing to keep in mind as well is that if you can make a good push early and you just keep going and the game doesn't push back, then keep doing it until the game starts actively, like, killing you and punishing you for what you're doing. So Poltergeist is, like, really taking off with this match.
Yeah, Poltergeist is doing really well. They just went through one of the most vertical levels in the game, which, when you're running around on 2-tile wide platforms with the movement physics you have here, it's really terrible. But they were able to handle it so well. I suddenly feel a lot better about my decision to not give these racers extra lives, because Poltergeist has not needed them. Jakazam has been stuck on level 2 for a while, which is what I expected. This game is rude.
So what happens with continues?
You have infinite continues and you restart the level you're on. So if Poltergeist game over's here, they have to do that vertical climb segment again.
Ooh, you're speaking my language now.
I tend to want to see more of a game than less, if possible. So in this particular case, not only do they have infinite continues, but I told them if you find a way to soft lock or crash or something like that, I'm gonna just give you the level select code and let you return to where you left off from. Because I want to see as much of these games as possible when there are races of them.
That's fair.
Might be a little softball, but this is Pachinko-kun. This is hardball. Pachinko balls are made out of like stainless steel. They're very hard.
Yeah, well, that's part of what I love about pinball. It's just, while it's fun to see balls bounce around, it's really fun to see metal balls bounce around. I don't know why, it's just very satisfying. And so, like, that's why I want to play Pachinko sometime. I don't even know if there are any, like, Pachinko machines in the US or if they're allowed anywhere. I'm going to Vegas next month.
There's apparently a bunch of them in some kind of arcade thing. Oh, by the way, mandatory mode 7 section here.
Ah, yeah!
And there's a bunch of them in some kind of like Pachinko museum showcase thing in Portland.
Okay.
But
I like Portland.
I haven't been down there to experience it yet. I do want to do just like a bunch of Pachinko stuff just to see what it's like. Because from the outside, I don't fully see what the draw is. I know there is a draw. So I want to give it a shot myself.
Because they bounce around.
Yeah.
That's why. It's the same as, what's it called? Peggle? Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
Except that sometimes you get money out of it. And sometimes you lose all your money.
I do find the whole thing around pachinko parlors and the gambling ban to be kind of interesting, the way they've done all of that.
Yeah, I honestly know very little about, like, foreign gambling history. Guess what? That's a very specific topic that I am not educated on.
The story, as I understand it, is when you play up a Pachio slot machine,
okay,
you actually pour the balls into a hopper yourself and can play with them, and then when you run out, you're done. And as you win, you get more balls that are spewed out like a slot machine, but the pachinko balls instead of coins. And you can trade the balls in for rewards that are not money. And then sometimes, every now and then, if you're playing in the right parlor and you know where to go, you can go outside, walk down the street into a completely separate business run by completely separate entities, quote unquote, and trade the silly prize you got in for money.
That's really funny and probably just a way to get around laws.
Well, how true or how common that is, I don't know. That's just a story I hear.
With that said, I feel like, I don't know. The biggest thing is, like, if you gamble wisely, and by wisely I mean have a budget. Not only that, but probably a stricter budget than you want to give yourself, because a lot of the times if you give yourself a budget and then you're out, you're like, oh my gosh, I lost all of that. I could get it all back. And that's like the most addicting part, I think, when it comes to gambling. Not like the prospect of winning, but the prospect of coming back from losing all of your money.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the biggest thing. If you're not if you're somebody who hasn't gambled and have thought about it, that is the biggest thing. As soon, like, it's a strange feeling. It's something that, like, I've only ever had once, and and unfortunately, it's a very, very negative feeling. Don't put yourself in that situation. It wasn't really a whole lot. It was like $100, but still, it's like, that $100 mattered at that point. And it's like just so tempting to, like, go, because they put freaking ATMs everywhere because they're like, come on, you know you want to. And it's like, I know I want to, but no, do it! Don't do it! So there you go. Yeah.
So Poltergeist just took down the Pachinko police, who are largely like all other police, and is now in the door maze segment.
Why? Each of these rooms appears to be the same?
The door maze is only really 3 choice rooms, and you can either go forward, get sent to the start of the level, or get sent to the exact same room again.
Poltergeist got sent
unfortunately, what's that?
back. Got sent back!
Yeah, Poltergeist unfortunately got sent back. Jakazam, meanwhile, is still on level 2 and is now consistently getting to the boss, but the boss is being a boss in this game, so...
Yeah, this boss is kind of a butt, but I feel like Jakazam, after a couple more attempts we'll have it, she'll really need to push after beating this level, though. I don't think the underwater level was quite as hard as this one, though, so maybe it'll be a little bit more of a walk in the park.
The underwater level at least had a lot fewer spikes in it.
Yeah.
Alright, so Poltergeist is back on the Pachinko police. I don't know why they're here.
Well, duh! You tried to trade the prize in for money. You're not supposed to do that. Throw bombs at you. Actually, yeah. If the police show up and start throwing bombs at you, maybe you should get a new police.
If that happens, you're clearly at a peaceful protest.
Oh, okay. We're going that direction with this commentary. Let's. I love it.
Alright, so Poltergeist only has 1 door left here. It's got to be the correct one.
Jakazam, though, is through the second world on to World 3. Poltergeist, meanwhile, I think is on level 4 or 5? I don't know. 5. Yeah,
Yep.
Poltergeist has a huge lead. Like, at this point, I would say that, Jakazam is going to have a very difficult battle to come back from being in last. It's possible. It definitely is possible. We've got plenty of time. This game doesn't seem like it is too long once you start figuring it out. And this underwater level, gonna be easy peasy.
The door maze might be the great equalizer here.
Watch out, there
Oh,
are...
look, 4 doors.
There are 5 doors. Oh, there we go!
And Poltergeist hammers it first try.
Well, second try.
Fair.
First aka second try. Ah!
And now this.
I don't know what this... I don't like this. This is like what... This is gonna show up in my nightmares tonight. I'm not ready.
I don't even know what that is. Yeah. Whatever it is, it's angry. Oh no. Poltergeist is having trouble finding the thing you actually need to hit. Which is good, because I don't remember what it is either.
Yeah. Why is the count in the background of this boss fight? Like, that's what's confusing to me.
It's the evil vampire of Pachinko or something.
The Pachinko vampire? I didn't know they had those. Oh, it's just called Pachinko. Ah! Poltergeist.
Well, Poltergeist is dead.
Happens to the best of us,
Back to the door maze. Fortunately, it doesn't randomize, so if they remember the way through, it should be a pretty easy process to get back to the boss.
Very, very true. Somebody in chat is asking if it's something in a pachinko machine that spins and bounces your balls. And I'm like, I don't know, but I kind of hope it is. That sounds fun.
We will see. We'll see what the gimmick is. Poltergeist has 25 minutes to figure it out, and then if they can't, we can figure it out together.
Yeah. The sprite work in this game is really impressive, but also looks a lot like Mega Man. And a lot like Mega Man X in some cases. Like,
Yeah?
yeah, who did the art for this? That's my big question.
Someone who could draw a circle.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I can't draw a circle unless I have assistance. I draw not even good ellipses. They end up having like a divot in them, and ugh. No. I'll let the professionals draw a circle. I'll go ahead and just use the circle tool on whatever art thingy I'm using, or a cup. If I'm using a pen and pencil. A cup is basically your circle tool. You just put it on top of the piece of paper, bam, draw around it, you got a circle. Congratulations, everybody. Pro hacks for ya.
My coffee cup is square shaped.
Well, if you need to draw a square that probably has like beveled, like, or like the corners are rounded corners, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've got that covered. You can do it.
Fair. Jagazam is doing an okay job of level 3, definitely making progress. I think we saw the boss for a little bit there. There is still a chance for her to catch up. Especially if the boss here on 5 gives Poltergeist the business, which is very likely to happen.
Yeah, the business. I know how that is. So yeah, I'm taking a look at some of the people who worked on this. One of the people, like, as far as I can tell, they mostly stayed within this company while they were developing video games, which makes sense. You know, all of the Pachio-kun games essentially had the same art director. Super Ghouls and Ghosts for GBA, though, the programmer for that was one of the designers on this game. For GBA? Okay, I mean, if you're doing a port, there might be a little less... No, design is important, it's just not going to be level design, it's going to be like coding and all of that other type of design if you're doing a port.
I have no idea. I didn't even know there was a GBA port of that. I have no idea how it is. So I withhold judgment on being a designer for that.
Yeah, honestly, I'm taking a lot of assumptions here. Apparently, it's not a good port. Whatever. They did. This game runs pretty well. I'll go ahead and say, they did good on designing this. Okay, the levels are actually kind of interesting. I'd say the biggest flaw in this game has to be with all of the physics and it trying to be Sonic, but failing in every aspect. Like, I would say Sonic 1 is a better Sonic than this.
Oh, absolutely. Sonic 1, you can at least, you know, be fast without just getting completely demolished because there are very few situations in which you actually do damage to enemies.
I'm currently on the third boss, Poltergeist, onto the door mage of stage 5 and onto the boss. Let's see if Poltergeist is able to beat the boss. I can't English today. Let's see if he can beat the boss. Come on, everybody. It's like my S's are becoming THs. I don't know. This is what happens to me, Tristan. If I go like a couple days without talking for hours on end, I just start slaughtering everything that I try to say. When I was a kid, though, I did have a speech impediment, so maybe I can just blame child me. Huh? Aha, me as a child messed up English.
I mean, I blame a lot of things that are wrong with me on my childhood. So.
Yeah, childhood blame. Haha!
It looks like Poltergeist is figuring the boss out. It's a process.
Looks like Poltergeist had done it. Well, not quite. Jakazam has done it, though. Look at that. The boss is dead. I'm happy about it.
So yeah, Jakazam's on to the next level. After speaking to slightly smaller Pachinko-kun.
Slightly smaller Pachiko-kun. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's precocious.
Was little... You're not even allowed in the pachinko parlors. Get out of here, kid. Ah. Maybe in the kid pachinko parlors, you know. They're just full of candy, cigarettes, and you know, all the good stuff. Soda machines
sounds...
everywhere.
That sounds great and wholesome. Alright, yeah, Poltergust has figured it out.
Okay,
let's see if they can finish it.
My uncle would always buy us candy cigarettes. He thought it was funny. Literally nobody in my family smoked. He's just like, come on, kids, have these candy cigarettes. And we're like, heck yeah, candy cigarettes, yeah. They tasted okay, kind of chalky.
Yeah, I think if I were going to market something like that, I would just make them, like, taste awful, and then get the monetization in the form of the parents buying them to associate cigarettes with awful.
Oh, come on. People just have them as a prank in Hot Topic. You know that.
Hot Topic still exists?
There's one in my town. At the mall. Who would have guessed? Yeah. Come on, Hot Topic is one of those companies that's never gonna die. And it's like, how does it keep going? It just keeps going and going. And for some reason, they always have the stupidest, edgy things in there. Okay. Hot Topic is tame and bland by comparison, says chat. They'd have candy cigarettes. Come on. Come on. In fact, they have a section that kids aren't allowed into. Probably because they're like
no,
pictures of non-candy cigarettes or something.
Poltergust almost had the boss down, and oh, by the way, there are time limits in this game.
People are saying, am I not confusing that with Spencer's? I'm about 80% sure that it's a Hot Topic, not a Spencer's. Am I mistaken? Oh my gosh. Okay, with that said, Jakazam is still in second place, but is catching up quite a bit.
Yeah, Jakazam's on the vertical climb, one level behind Poltergust. Poltergust blew through this level pretty quickly. The real deciding factor, though, if Jakazam gets there, is how fast she goes through the door maze. Poltergust had the decision of 4 hammered pretty quickly, had a lucky guess in there. So,
well, everybody...
Jakazam to really have a chance of catching up and overtaking Poltergust, we need to see a pretty quick door maze.
Yeah, not on... Like, she needs to beat this level probably on this continue. Maybe the next one would do. It's just, unfortunately, lag is making a lot of this level very slow. I think that's
so
lag.
All of these platforms fall, which means they have code associated with them that's running, and this level lags kind of heavily.
Yeah, that's something that, like, I've taken into account, like, when I've been working on programming the game that I'm making. How do I, like, the thing, I don't really have to worry about a 2D modern game really having lag. A 2D block pushing game, but it still is something that I think about a lot just because I don't want to put too many processes in. But yeah, for Super Nintendo it was a lot more limited. Poltergust moving on to World 6. Whatever world this is. Uh-oh. Did you just save the flashing rectangle? Good job. By the way, I have confirmed it is a Spencer's at my mall and not a Hot Topic. We did have one of the very few successful Hot Topics, but for some reason it just disappeared and nobody knows why. Like, not even the employees or the management there. They're like, we thought we were doing well. Everything was good. Like, compared to every other Hot Topic store, we were like at number 1. And then just bam, they're gone. So now we've got Spencer's.
So Poltergust is in this factory world that is mainly populated by Tiny Tank,
Well,
who is a mascot from the PlayStation era.
Wait. So, did they originally appear in this and then become a mascot later, or is that a joke?
Nah, it's just the tank enemies in this game look a lot like Tiny Tank.
I don't know what Tiny Tank is.
A Tiny Tank was a mascot thing on the original PlayStation during like the height of the edgy era. And the entire game of Tiny Tank, the plot is built around, hey, this undefined military organization built a really cute autonomous small tank as a military mascot, and then it went on a rampage.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at this picture. It's kind of like the box art for this is kind of beautiful. Unfortunately, now that we only have 2 players, like, there's not as much room to put a picture up in front of stuff. I'm gonna have to think about that, because I don't want to just be I don't want to put stuff in the way for randomly blocking stuff. There we go, Jackazam's through the boss. We'll go ahead and say that I can put it up now. Aha! That's what I really just wanted, Jackazam to beat the boss so that I can show you Tiny Tank right here. Look at this.
I wanted to stream this, and I got about 2 minutes into the opening cutscene and then remembered this was from the height of the edgy era, and maybe I won't.
Ooh, okay, so we finally get to hear the castle music. It's scary. And everything deals so much damage to you, although Poltergust I don't think is faring too much better. Honestly, the big question is Poltergust going to be able to make much progress in this world? This looks like a nightmare.
Poltergust is... Okay, so there's this conveyor belt on the ground, and there's a switch that controls the direction the conveyor belt runs just before it, and then you have to have movement, or like momentum, to get around this curve to end up on the platform above you. So you have to have the conveyor belt going in to the left, opposite direction of the way you want it to go.
Well,
And then you have to roll into it, hit the switch as you're coming by, switch the conveyor belt direction, and then you have to negotiate the weird controls around going around this curve, and it's Sonic style, where until you
I love
make
this.
contact
This
with
is
the
not okay.
ground afterward, when you go around that curve, holding right starts moving you left.
Aha.
So you have to hold right around that curve, and the moment you hit the ground on that platform, you have to switch to neutral or holding left, or you're just going to run off the right side of the platform.
Gotcha. Jackazam
It's
through
kinda
mini boss
terrible.
number 1, by the way.
Yeah.
That was really fast. Good job. Although this platforming
Unfortunately,
is...
Jackazam's having trouble getting the momentum to negotiate these jumps because you need, I don't know, we'll call it B speed, ball speed.
B speed. Haha.
You need at least the first stage of B speed.
The first stage of B speed. If you don't have enough B speed, it's unfortunate. Looks like Poltergust has learned that turning into your ball form may actually make going on these conveyor belts a little bit easier.
Jackazam has taken the 50-50 correctly. Oh no, Spikes. Dead.
This game's
I don't know
fair.
if you saw that.
Yeah, death, and then landed on the rotating platform, and then finally death animation.
So more importantly, Jackazam jumped up onto that platform and did a full height jump because the camera was scrolled down.
Okay.
So she could see the platform but not what was above it. And a full height jump was enough to just smack her up into the spikes she couldn't see, and their instant death. So
all of the jumping in this game just seems like an absolute nightmare.
it is.
At the same time, like, there's a lot of redeemable stuff about this game. Like, not the gameplay, but it, like, if I were to show this to a pachinko CEO, I might be able to sell this.
I think there's a lot of potential for this game to be really cute and like fun and catchy, and then whoever designed the movement mechanics for the player character just, I don't know.
Yeah. With that said, you know, this game is on Kusog7ande for a reason. The reason being that the controls in this are abysmal, and no matter how good a game looks or sounds, it doesn't matter when it hurts to play. I mean, it'll matter if you need to pass it off to your boss, but otherwise, not really. By the way, the person who composed the music for this actually did music for Persona 2, as well as Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne. We've got Astanatics, however you say it, Stanax, whatever. Xanax, the video game. Yeah, that one. Astyanax.
Oh, Nasty Axe.
No, not Nasty Axe. Ew. Gotta wash your axes, okay? Actually, that's just called Axe body spray. Yeah, it's what all those teens were all about, you know. But yeah. Just looking at it, it was Toshiko Tasaki who worked on this, as well as various songs. I don't know if they did all of the music for Persona 2 or just a couple. Also did some of the sound for Heaven's Gate. Yeah, so there you go.
Who builds a factory that just has giant spiked maces descending and ascending into the ceiling like this?
I don't understand. There are so many games with those. Is this like a medieval thing, or is it a lie? I feel like it's a lie. That's not how things work. A giant spike mace factory? That's stupid.
I think Jakuzam had a jump input get eaten right there, which this game does sometimes eat jump inputs. It's not common, but I had it happen a few times when I was testing it.
Okay.
You know, just to make it a little bit worse. I love the completely unnecessary rotating platform.
Always good. I actually like the audio distortion in this level is a little bit weird, but it kind of fits with the theme of this like rotating castle that's mysterious and strange. I'm gonna go ahead and say I get
level 6 and is on the boss.
Aha!
Who is this?
I don't like this. Yeah, at this point, I think Jakuzam is most likely going to lose unless she just manages to get through level 6 extremely quickly, which can happen.
We've seen it.
Hey, Jane Science Theater, thank you for the raid. Come and enjoy the last of tonight's match. And hopefully you like games where you're a ball.
Oh no, small evil pachinko-kuns.
You have to murder your children. Why would they do this to you? This game's evil. Just showing the true evils of the gambling industry.
I don't know if it's the evils of gambling. I think it's the evils of, like, enforcement against gambling.
Oh, are these guys trying to stop you from gambling?
I don't know. I mean,
What's
you
the
are...
story?
What's that?
What's the lore?
I don't know. There's not much about it. Like, not in English, anyway.
Chat, can somebody hurry and Google Translate me a story? I don't think that's gonna work out too well. I gotta be honest. Great. I was looking at people's various, like, the work that they did on this game, and I thought I saw Vegas Dream because I think it was on somebody's, one person worked on Vegas Dream, and then this other person, I thought it said Vegas Dream, but no, it's Virgin Dream, and it's a little different.
Yeah.
But at least many of the people working on this game had a dream.
They had a dream of a world where you could just play pachinko without interference from the man.
I feel like they had a dream that they were a pachinko.
I'm not gonna judge.
I've had a lot of weird dreams in my life. Okay, I actually take pills that help me have a lot fewer weird dreams. Last night it was just I kept accidentally getting on a plane back to, like, wherever I was coming from. And I'm like, crap, I need to stop getting on this plane. And then, like, hours later, there I was finally getting off in Salt Lake City, and I'm like, oh, thank goodness. And, you know, I'm like, okay, I gotta go to the right place. Go into a door, and suddenly, oh, that door was back onto the airplane. No!
Poltergeist just jumped off of instant kill spikes. You know, in some games, if the hit detection is kind of squirrely, you can do a frame perfect jump off of the bottom of the screen or off of spikes. I believe that's what Poltergeist just did.
In fact, that is a trick that's used in one of the clips that I haven't learned how to do yet for Alien 2 on the Famicom Disk System, and it's always really satisfying to jump off of death planes.
I think it's really interesting that that has, like, speed tech now.
Oh, well, there's going through walls. There's a lot of speed tech in that game. It's so much fun. I did submit it to GDQ.
I find it kind of interesting what games get actual, like, routing and spading and speed tech established for them. Because I never would have thought that Alien for the Famicom Disk System would get that, and yet here we are.
I routed it, Tristan.
Uh-huh.
That's what I like to do. I like to route. If there's nothing cool about the game, I'm not going to want to route it. And then I don't know, I thought it was really charming and kind of fun. And then I was like, you have to be able to go through walls. Like, come on, this is a prototype. It's not even finished. You have to be able to go through walls, and so I did. And then I learned an easier way to go through walls. Where
I like that you presented as largely you just decided you were going to go through walls.
I mean, it's a Nintendo game. It's honestly not too difficult in a lot of, like, even the ones that have been finished. It's, yeah, but in Alien 2, what you have to do is you go against a wall, you crouch, and then you turn around. Sometimes you don't even have to jump or do anything else. You just start zipping through the wall.
The old Strider strategy.
Maybe I need to learn the Strider run, because I never have. Ooh.
But anybody can Strider.
So I've heard.
We're coming down to the final minute. I do think this one is pretty wrapped up. We've got Poltergeist in level 6, and Jakuzam is on the mini boss of level 5.
Yeah, barring a bizarre wrong warp.
That'd be hilarious.
You never really know, but, like, yeah. We're probably done here. But with that said, we had somebody do some weird clip in Athena NES one time that zipped them to the end of stage 3 and instantly killed the boss, and I'm like, how did you do that? I've never been able to recreate it.
You didn't let the cheat mode from Fat Bobby fly, though.
Well, no, freaking Fat Bobby.
I got tube and binge for that.
That was also like 10 minutes into the match that suddenly, like, everything was broken. Oh, well, with that said, we have hit the hour, everybody. That is the end of that match. Our first bracket match for Kusog7 is in the books. Poltergeist versus Jakuzam. Poltergeist managing to take the victory by making it to the boss of stage 6. Jakuzam made it to almost to the boss of stage 5, but not quite enough to solidify that win. I'm going to go ahead and let them know that they are both welcome to come and chat. But yeah, let me go ahead and bring Polterghost in. Hello there, Polterghost.
Yo.
Hey, congratulations. You definitely got the victory today. Although Jackazam was having a really good comeback towards the end. I think that let me go ahead and bring Jackazam in here as well. Hello there, Jackazam.
Hi.
Hey.
What this next room is with 4 doors now. That's wonderful.
It's a door maze. Yeah, Polterghost, I think got walled a little bit by level 5, and, but for Jackazam, I think level 2 was the big wall for you.
Yeah, the controls there, I couldn't figure out how to stop my momentum. And then I realized, tapping, even though you couldn't control how far you would go, really, before it stopped, you still would go a small enough distance so you wouldn't get hit by those spikes.
Oh, yeah. Games where you just can't stop, where there's no reliable way to slow down, can be an absolute nightmare. Again, I was telling Tristan about this earlier. Scunny, Back to the Forest, or Back to the Woods, whatever the crap it's called, it has the same issue where, especially if you're in the air and you just push back, it instantly flips your horizontal direction without actually lowering the speed, and I think you can actually continue to accelerate by pushing the direction because now you're going in that direction. It's bad. It's really, really bad. With that said, it's a lot of fun because of how fast it is. But this game, I think it also has a bit of the kid cool issue. Not cool kid. He's not a cool kid. He's a nerd. Specifically when you're going slow, that it's very hard to do any platforming while you're going slow.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah. So, Polterghost, what about you? What took the longest for you to get used to, or was it also that momentum there?
So I learned how to deal with the momentum. I guess the problem was figuring out how to store the momentum enough so that I didn't get trounced by the enemies.
Yeah, that's fair enough. The enemies are a little bit rude in the game. Not that they have complex movement, it's just how did you have to deal damage to them? Because I don't believe you could just jump on them, right?
So if you could jump on the very, very top of their heads, it's a very tiny hitbox, but you can do a tiny bit of damage to them.
Okay.
But the more correct way to do damage to them is to jump and then turn into a ball, and that deals a little bit more damage depending on where you hit them.
Okay, gotcha. Ball form.
But rolling in a ball on the ground doesn't count as being able to hurt enemies. You don't have a hitbox
That's
there.
a sin. Okay, if you're trying to be a Sonic game, you can't do that. Bad pachinko game that never came out outside of Japan. Shame on you. Jackson, what are your overall thoughts about the game, though?
Once I got used to it, once I got through that wall of level 2, it wasn't that bad. I was actually surprised when they threw in the rotating levels in Stage 5. I was like, okay, they're doing something with this game.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I had a good time. Level 2 was really rough. The little spike enemies in that little hall I had to roll through and just couldn't figure out was really rough.
Yeah.
And I knew I was behind by a lot when Polterghost said in chat, lucky guess, oh my god, and I'm like, I haven't gotten to anything that I needed to guess on yet, so I know I'm behind. And I went through another 3 levels before I got up to something I had to guess on, so...
Oh, yeah. With that said, sometimes it's a little bit relieving to know that you're not in the lead. It gives you a little bit of a chance to be like, well, we'll see if I can catch up, and if not, I already know.
Yeah, I had a feeling a door maze was coming, but I was expected to be on stage 3 or 4, and when it was on stage 5, I was like, oh, there's no chance I won this.
You actually got really close, though. You were almost at the boss, I think just 1 or 2 doors away from the boss of Stage 5. And then I don't know what that was for Stage 6, Polterghost. You got there.
Man.
What is the nightmare that you were fighting?
So you got conveyor belts that eat all your momentum, but you
Okay.
need to use them to build your momentum.
Yeah.
So it's a little baffling. The way to build momentum is to roll against the conveyor belt, just like traditional logic would teach you. If you push against something that's pushing towards you, clearly you go faster.
Well, I was gonna say there was a recent Super Mario ROM hack that had some extremely difficult sections, and some of the scrolling platforms to the right that like fall after 3 seconds. They had to use that essentially like these conveyor belts to build up momentum without moving and then fly into the sky. It was like that ROM hack was really impressive, but I've seen multiple games use that before. It's just that if you have to then go in the opposite direction from where you're running, good luck.
Yeah. There was a lot of mess in that level, a lot of enemies that just spawn on the side of the screen where you need to jump to, and it's a very fine jump. So good luck. A
Yeah.
lot of this damage. The maces do so much damage to you.
Yeah, they just drop the stupid iron balls. Well, they don't even drop fast. They're just slightly spiky and they go up and down.
I thought I was going to have another shot at the boss at the end there, and then my shield just didn't work against the ball. It was just, nope, you're dead. What's the point of the shield then?
Yeah. Kusog7ande, you almost made it to a really interesting boss. I feel like that's the first one that's like absolutely baffling, because it's almost like a horror game boss, I'd say. Just the way that its arms and legs are, and how it spins around, and I don't even know. Like, if you make it that far later, I would love to hear your opinions about that boss. Well, with that said, I'm glad that you have both been able to be here. Thank you so much for being so willing to sign up quickly and get the match going, because heck, you kicked off winners bracket round 1. Kusog7ande, you are still in it, so I honestly have no doubt that you're going to keep fighting, and that there's a good chance you're going to make it a good way through there.
Yeah, I'm gonna try my best. I'm hopefully not gonna get knocked out immediately in lower bracket 2, but
Yeah, if you do, it's got to happen to someone, but yeah, fingers crossed.
as long as it's not Roar that makes it happen this time.
Okay, yeah, we'll... I love that, like, you saw Roar on the list of the 3 possible people who could be given a game out, and you voted for me. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you not voting for Roar, because Roar does not deserve the vote. Yeah,
I mean,
I'm just waiting for him
If
to
you
come in
antagonize
here
him,
and
he's
yell.
gonna show up again.
That's why I antagonize him. I want him to come yell. Come on, Roar.
Fair.
Well, everybody, this has been Kusog7ande for today. Normally we have Don't Make Us Bored on Tuesdays, but Corndan is busy being a robot or something. I think I'm going to try to be back tomorrow and actually have an extended It's All Me stream where I just do me stuff. And then Thursday, hang out with the Game Masters. Friday is a grudge match on the GDQ channel. We've got Flannel Cat versus Trace. And then Osmorn versus somebody who I can't remember their name. What's their name? Where is it? Come on. Selkuthmine. There we go. It's just going to be a hoot, everybody. I hope that you come and watch. And then this weekend, hopefully my internet doesn't die again, and we are able to have the Kusog7ande matches that we were supposed to have this past weekend. Yeah, so that's the schedule for the week. But yeah, I don't want to do anything else tonight. I've had a very bad stomach ache, and I want to take it easy. So let's go and raid somebody and find out who is worth raiding. Does anybody know anyone's already streaming who would be good to bother?
Shrug. I don't know.
Shrug, I don't know. Either of you are going to keep streaming after this?
Nah, I'm good for tonight.
I'm done for tonight as well.
Yeah, that's the Kusog7ande experience. What the crap is L Rock playing? This looks...
That sounds promising.
I know, right? Okay, it looks like some weird race... Oh, this looks like a four-wheeler racing game for... Oh, it's called 4 Tracks 1989 for the arcade. Yeah, that would be good. Let's go and raid. Roar just started coloring Mario pictures. Well, Roar keeps harassing me. And I saw L Rock. Although I like Mario pictures as well. Everybody, you're welcome to go and bother Roar as well. What's a good raid message here? I'm Ball. I'm Blue. I'm bad. Because we had no good quotes from this game itself. What can you say? You were pachinko balls.
We had some good quotes from you because, I mean, how do you get through a game about balls without something happening?
You approach it just like Jeff Probst, okay? You have to say ball a billion times. And then the editors are going to put together a compilation of all of the most questionable things that you said during that time. That's just the reality. You say ball.
I'm surprised no one quoted that line about balls needing to breathe.
Okay, yeah. Never mind. We're gonna leave. Bye, everybody. Bye. Get out of here. Go.